father, Bonzi, and Bonzi is gonna come down and do an interview with me. And then somebody from Team Ortiz says that they have something that they want to tell me that may be exclusive. Wow. So they about to drop some kind of bombshell. So hopefully stay tuned. So I guess I gotta stick around. But speaking of bombshell, I just want to say this because, like I say, I don't want to do the tribalism thing. I don't want to do the, Mexican versus Mexican talk. But I do got a lot of Mexican subscribers. So I'd rather them give their input on this. But it appears that Canelo has officially turned down a fight with David Benavidez, and he was offered $50 million for Benavidez or Morale to basically, I guess, come back to the PBC and fight. And they're saying that Canelo just said no. It is just apparent that Canelo just not want to fight David Benavidez. And like I said before, it's just disappointing for boxing. It's disappointing for everybody involved. So like I said, I don't want to do the Mexican versus Mexican thing because I'm not Mexican. I'm black. Now, if my Mexican subscribers want to give their intake on it and how they feel being Mexican and what they think of the whole thing with Canelo not wanting to fight his countrymen, feel free. But like I said, I'm gonna leave that alone. But as a boxing fan, and actually I like Canelo, but I'm an even bigger David Benavidez fan. And I think from a boxing perspective, it's just sad that we're not gonna get this fight. And Canelo is turning down $50 million. I repeat, he is walking away from $50 million. So what is he going to get for his next fight? And then basically they're saying that the Bilbao fight may be off the, maybe off the table. So, I'm just saying, I think it's sad I think it's very sad, and it's disappointing. I'm talking about, can you imagine right after Crawford Spence in July and September we get Canelo versus David Benavidez? I'm talking about we getting fight after fight. We getting star-studded fight after star-studded fight. And I don't know what's going through Canelo's head. And I'm just starting to think that Canelo just doesn't think he can beat David Benavidez. And I got to say this now from a perspective of me being a black man. I can talk from a black perspective. A lot of people accuse Floyd. And I got to give my man Kenny Porter credit because Kenny stood on this. A lot of people accuse Floyd Mayweather of not wanting to pass the torch to another black fighter. And basically, not wanting to, get in the ring with another brother. I'm talking about who was at their peak, who was elite, or who was past green. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people saw that in Floyd. And that's why a lot of people turned on Floyd towards, basically towards the latter end of his career. People were saying, okay, well, you fought Sugar Shane Mosley. Now, to be fair, and I don't need nobody to put this in the comment section, I already know that Floyd tried to fight Sugar Shane Mosley when I think he was at 140. And Sugar Shane Mosley talked about he need to get his teeth fixed and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I already know that happened. So don't put that in the comment section. I've been watching and following boxing forever. But you look at who Floyd elected to fight versus, guys like Paul Williams. He didn't fight Joshua Clottey. I'm not going to say he fought Cotto past his prime, but, he fought a post-Margarito Cotto. And it kind of makes you wonder what would have happened if Floyd and Cotto fought when they was like both undefeated. I think that fight could have went either way. So, I think it could have went either way, but at the end of the day, I still would have had Floyd winning like a, contested It might have been a controversial win for Floyd, but at the end of the day, I think Floyd still would have found a way to beat Cotto. Even looking at that fight that they had, I think in 2012, that fight was off the hook. That was some of the best Floyd that I ever saw. Floyd, he fought in that fight. He didn't box, he fought. What he was accused of doing, you know, because keep in mind, according to some people, Floyd was a runner. But once again, getting back on the emphasis of Floyd, this is what a lot of people from the black community accuse Floyd of doing, not wanting to fight no brothers. So this is why Floyd received a lot of the criticism he received. A lot of people felt that Floyd should have tried to, like, basically pass the torch, you know, to maybe at one time a Crawford or at a, you know, Spence or Keith Thurman or Sean Porter. All those dudes were available for Floyd to fight. Now, keep in mind, Bud, that's a different story. Bud was still at 140 by the time Floyd Mayweather retired. But Errol Spence and Thurman and Porter, those dudes were all welterweights. Which means, you know, so Crawford is the exception. So you kind of got to scratch him off the list. And then, you know, when you think about Paul Williams, Floyd has said out of his own mouth, he said Paul Williams was too big for him. But Paul Williams was, you know, basically a welterweight. And Floyd said no. But, you know, like I said before, that's just unfortunate that Canelo is walking away from a fight like this, something that he can give the fans. So that's just real unfortunate. At the end of the day, boxing loses. Boxing loses. We all lose. Everybody involved loses. You know, unfortunately, the Mexican fight fans lose, and then the boxing fans lose. And that's, you know, I'm real disappointed. I'm real disappointed in Canelo. So all this stuff about Canelo will fight anybody, Canelo have balls of steel, according to some people, which I never believed that. I already knew that Canelo was very calculated about who he fought. But to see him just flat out just you know, do that to David Benavidez, who deserves a fight with Canelo, that's just unfortunate. And then the thing is, David Benavidez has been very respectful towards Canelo too. It's not like he's called him out his name and all this kind of stuff, but who knows what's going to happen now. So I don't know what's going to happen with Canelo, but I am saying, Canelo, disappointed in you, dude. You letting everybody down by not fighting David Benavidez, walking away from a $50 million payday. Actually, it would be more than $50 million, because I think it would succeed on pay-per-view. So you're talking about Canelo possibly walking away from a $60 million payday. The fight would sell out. I'm going to be honest with you. You could put Canelo and David Benavidez probably in Allegiant Stadium, and that fight would do good. Hopefully while the fight is going on, hopefully no aliens don't make an appearance there, because they seem to have been some full-fledged alien sightings in Las Vegas, but that's another video for another day. But yeah, but nevertheless, that would be a great fight. So maybe Canelo will reconsider. Maybe they're going to have to up the ante. Maybe they're going to have to offer him $70 million. I don't see how Canelo can walk away from $70 million. But anyway, there you have it. It's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.